GnuCash is a free, open-source accounting software that many small businesses and individuals turn to for managing their finances. Its double-entry bookkeeping system provides a robust framework for tracking income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. If you're looking to take control of your financial records without the recurring costs of proprietary software, GnuCash is an excellent option. However, like any software, the first step is getting it installed. As an accounting software expert, I frequently guide users through the process of setting up their financial tools. While GnuCash is powerful, its installation process can vary slightly depending on your operating system. The good news is, for most users, it's a straightforward procedure. Let's walk through how to install GnuCash on the most common platforms. Before you begin, key considerations. Before you even download GnuCash, it's wise to consider a few things. System requirements. GnuCash is not particularly demanding on modern computers. If your computer can run your operating system smoothly, it can almost certainly run GnuCash. You'll need a reasonable amount of RAM and hard drive space, but these are typically not an issue for most current machines. Operating system, OS GnuCash is available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. The installation steps differ for each. Stable versus development version. Always opt for the stable release, unless you're an advanced user interested in testing new features and comfortable with potential bugs. The stable release is thoroughly tested and recommended for everyday use. Backup your data for upgrades. If you're upgrading from an older version of GnuCash, always back up your existing GnuCash data file before starting the installation. While upgrades are usually smooth, a backup is your safety net in case anything unexpected happens. Installation on Windows. For Windows users, installing GnuCash is very much like installing any other desktop application. Download the installer. Go to the official GnuCash website, www.gnucash.org. Navigate to the download section. Find the latest stable release for Microsoft Windows, e.g., GnuCash X.YY for Microsoft Windows 8, 10, 11, where X.YY is the version number. Click the download link. This will usually be an executable file with a .exe extension. Run the installer. Once the download is complete, locate the downloaded .exe file. It's usually in your Downloads folder. Double-click the file to start the installation wizard. You might see a User Account Control, UAC, prompt asking for permission to run the installer. Click Yes. Follow the installation wizard. Language selection. Choose your preferred language for the installation process. License agreement. Read through the GNU General Public License, GPL. You'll need to accept it to proceed. Choose components. The installer will suggest a full installation by default. For most users, leaving these default components checked is perfectly fine. It ensures all necessary parts of GnuCash are installed. Installation location. The installer will suggest a default location, e.g., C:\program files /GnuCash. You can change this if you prefer, but the default is usually suitable. Start menu folder /desktop icon. You'll be given options to create a start menu folder and a desktop shortcut. It's generally recommended to leave these checked for easy access. Review settings. The wizard will show a summary of your selected options. Review them to ensure everything looks correct. Install. Click Install to begin the actual file copying process. Finish. Once the installation is complete, click Finish. You might see an option to launch GnuCash immediately. You should now see a GnuCash icon on your desktop or in your Start menu. Installation on macOS. Installing GnuCash on macOS is also quite straightforward, typically involving a disk image file. Download the disk image. Go to the official GnuCash website, www.gnucash.org. Navigate to the download section. Find the latest stable release for Apple macOS, ensuring you choose the correct version for your Mac's processor, Apple Silicon or Intel, and macOS version. The file will typically have a .dmg extension. Open the disk image. Once downloaded, locate the .dmg file, usually in your Downloads folder. Double-click the .dmg file. This will mount the disk image, opening a new Finder window that usually shows the GnuCash application icon and an applications folder alias. Drag and drop. Drag the GnuCash.app icon or just GnuCash from the Open Disk Image window directly into your applications folder. This copies the application to your computer. If you plan to use online features like downloading bank statements, you might also see an Install Online Quotes icon. Drag this into your applications folder as well. Eject the disk image. After copying, you can close the disk image window and drag the GnuCash disk image icon from your desktop or Finder sidebar to the trash, or right-click and choose Eject to unmount it. The application is now installed. Launch GnuCash. Go to your applications folder and double-click the GnuCash icon to launch the program. On the first launch, macOS might ask you to confirm that you want to open an application downloaded from the internet. Click Open. Installation on Linux. Linux users have a few common ways to install GnuCash, often making it the easiest platform to get it running on. Using your distribution's package manager. Recommended. Most Linux distributions include GnuCash in their official software repositories. This is the simplest and most recommended method, as it ensures compatibility and easy updates. For Debian, Ubuntu, Mint, Pop! _OS. Open a terminal and type bash sudo apt update sudo apt install GnuCash. For Fedora /Red Hat /CentOS /Rocky Linux /Alma Linux. Open a terminal and type bash sudo dnf install GnuCash. For older RHEL/CentOS systems, you might use sudo yum install GnuCash. You might also need to enable the EPEL repository first if GnuCash isn't in your default repositories. For Arch Linux, open a terminal and type bash sudo pacman s GnuCash. For OpenSUSE, open a terminal and type bash sudo zypper install GnuCash. For Gentoo Linux, open a terminal and type bash sudo emerge sysapps/GnuCash. After running the command, your system will download and install GnuCash along with any necessary dependencies. You'll usually find GnuCash in your desktop environment's Office or Finance application menu. Using Flatpak Universal Linux Package. Flatpak is a universal packaging system that works across many Linux distributions, often providing newer versions of software than what's available in your distribution's default repositories. First, ensure Flatpak is installed on your system. Consult your distribution's documentation if it's not. Then, open a terminal and type bash flatpak install flathub.org.gnucash.gnucash. You can then run GnuCash using bash flatpak run org.gnucash.gnucash. Building from source advanced. This method is primarily for developers or users who need very specific configurations or the absolute latest development version. It involves downloading the source code and compiling it. This is significantly more complex and generally not recommended for the average user.